Temptation Island Season 5, Episode 1 brought back the fun chaos of the series while incorporating some brand new twists for the contestants. Temptation Island Season 5, Episode 1 started with a bang as the couples and singles were introduced to each other, as well as some brand new twists in the experience. USA's Temptation Island, which is hosted by Mark L. Wahlberg, is a revamp of the Fawak series from the early 2000s. The premise is simple. Four couples come to a luxurious Hawaiian island looking to put their relationship to the ultimate test and see if they can remain faithful in the face of temptation. The temptation at hand is a group of several singles who join the cast looking for lasting love of their own. In the past, only contestants who came to the series coupled up were allowed to communicate with the singles about their attraction. A new twist on Temptation Island Season 5 is giving the singles the ability to send video messages of their own to the people they're interested in. After learning about the new twist, meeting the couples and singles, and watching the cast intermingle for a mixer, it's clear that Temptation Island Season 5 won't be skipping on the drama. For the contestants who joined the series hoping to ensure their relationships will last, the knowledge that temptation will be lurking around Leonela Paris Pedro and Nzubekuku Great Eze came to Temptation Island to work through some of the biggest issues in their nearly 2-year-long relationship. While Great has been unfaithful in the past, Paris chose to forgive him and move forward. During the initial bonfire, Paris explained she was feeling less confident in Great, especially around beautiful women to tempt him. She was hopeful that due to the deep-rooted traditions in their Angolan and Nigerian cultures, respectively, Great would propose to her soon and honor the tradition of getting married and starting a family at an early age. For Maricela Figueroa and her partner Christopher Wells, Temptation Island Season 5 was an attempt to fix their failing relationship. As they explained during the opening bonfire, Maricela and Chris had been dealing with trust issues, tension, and infidelity throughout their relationship. Tearfully, Maricela admitted that she didn't know herself and had always had a hard time controlling her anger. While Chris has tried to be supportive throughout their time together, their codependency has made it difficult for them to function individually. Both were hoping the experience on Temptation Island would help them understand how to be together and apart. Caitlin Tufts and Hall Toledano are one of the few engaged couples to join Temptation Island to put their relationship to the test. While Caitlin and Hall were together for several years before their engagement, they did take a break from their relationship to ensure they wanted to be together. When they got back together, they got engaged quickly, but things stalled from there. While Hall says he's ready to commit to Caitlin and marry her, she's been dragging her feet on anything to do with wedding planning and isn't sure why. The couple hopes to find some answers on Temptation Island. Vanessa Valenti and Roberta Maldonado have a 10-year age difference, but for the 34 and 24-year-olds, respectively, they hope to make it clear that their love is about far more than their age. While Vanessa is known for being brash and dramatic at times, she explained during the initial bonfire that her standards are high and doesn't plan on wavering in that. Vanessa knows what she deserves and makes that known to Roberto. As Vanessa's partner, Roberto said he wanted to be supportive and live up to her standards, but isn't clear if that's something he'd be able to do long-term. During the first bonfire, Mark got acquainted with the couples and didn't hesitate from asking them some tough questions about their relationships. One by one, the couples introduced themselves and divulged the biggest issues in their relationships. They explained the problems that had brought them to Temptation Island, making sure to check in with each other when more extreme emotions came up. As Mark guided the conversation, he made it clear that they were all going to get to work on finding out who they were separately and together. Rather than separating the couples immediately like previous seasons of Temptation Island have done, the couples were given one last night to connect and prepare for the experience they were about to undertake. As Temptation Island is meant to test the couples through some of the most difficult possible moments, seeing them operate in their natural state was fascinating. Each dynamic felt on display as the couples interacted with one another and talked through what was happening in their relationships together. While there were a few fights before the end of the night, it was clear that each couple did have deep feelings for one another. The following day, it was time for the couples to meet the singles who would be coming in and trying to connect with their partners. In previous seasons of Temptation Island, the contestants who came in coupled up were the only people allowed to initiate communication throughout the season. Temptation Island Season 5's first new twist was that singles could now reach out and message anyone they were interested in. Before the experience began, Temptation Island had another first and allowed the singles and couples to join together at a party for everyone to get to know each other. During the party, many of the couples felt uneasy about their partners and the behavior they were exhibiting. While the contestants were all meant to get to know each other, many of the coupled-up contestants were immediately uncomfortable with the level of affection they were seeing their partners display for other people. Paris, for example, stepped in on multiple chats Great was having with some of the single women before pulling him aside and questioning him about his intentions with the single women. Alternately, Hall was feeling uncomfortable with Catalin talking to new men, even though he was speaking with women. The couple's togetherness struck the singles during the party, and many were feeling uncomfortable with how close they were. Throughout the party, the couples were checking in with each other and finding each other in the crowd, some watching their partners rather than engaging in conversations. While this isn't really in the spirit of Temptation Island, it does make sense given the circumstances. Even so, the singles were quick to call out their codependency, especially Chris and Maricela, who were spending time together rather than trying to engage with others. Toward the end of the episode, Chris and Maricela were together with a group of single men when he opened up about a secret of Maricela's. He spoke candidly about her attraction to women, telling the men she even suggested they add another woman to their relationship. Maricela was immediately uncomfortable with the admission and explained in a confessional interview that she had yet to share anything about her attraction to women with her friends or family. She explained that it made her deeply uncomfortable that Chris was happy to share her secret on Temptation Island in such a public forum.